We had a chance to talk a little bit before the show. I was asking you quite a few questions, trying to get my hands wet, if you will, when it comes to high school wrestling. How popular is wrestling at Northside High School?
We're a growing sport. We don't fill the gym like basketball yet. Grew up in the north where we see gymnasiums are full on a Tuesday night, so that is our eventual goal, but we're getting more and more interest. We've had quite a bit of success in the last couple of years, so we hope to continue to grow upon that.
And how long have you been the head coach of the Northside Monarchs?
This is my third season as head coach at Northside.
Yeah, you told me a story here before the show. I'd like you to share that, kind of what led you to being the head coach of the Northside Monarchs.
Coach Cobb, one of the football coaches, brought me over a number of years ago. I coached for him at Southwest High School when I started, coached for him at Richlands when he was there, and then he brought me in as an assistant a couple of years ago. I was given a year off as an assistant and then called back as a head coach 3 years ago. So kind of been around the county.
How many meets do you have scheduled each year?
We have either dual meets or tri-meets. Tri-meet is when we have two events that night. We have about 15 of those scheduled throughout the season, and then we have a tournament almost every other weekend. So probably another 10 tournaments throughout the season that'll run to February.
And can you go a little more in depth on the meets? Like, what do they consist of?
Okay, the meet consists of 14 individual weight classes or individual matches. There are 3 2-minute periods, and the ways to win the match are either disqualification or the pinfall, which is the ultimate way to win, or if you just win by points. And then there's a scaling system of team points based on how you beat your opponent. The thing about wrestling, unlike other sports, is for each weight class there's going to be a team score. So it's not like maybe if you missed a field goal, someone's going to get some points. If you beat somebody with a narrow decision, it'll be a 3-point win. Put some more points on the board, a 4-point win. If you do what's called a technical foul or technical fall, which is like a mercy rule, if you're up by more than 15 points, they stop the match and give you 15 points. And then, of course, the pinfall is 6.
And the pinfall is how many reps?
How many reps?
So how many counts? Sorry.
Okay, it is. You must be. Your shoulders or pinning area must be on the mat for 2 seconds.
For 2 seconds, that's the ref counts 1 and 2, and that counts.
Yes, sir.
As a pinfall. So it's not like the WWE where you gotta.
There is no 3 count. No, there is no tagging in. We've had a few guys over the years want to tag in somebody, but no, it's a one-on-one battle.
There's no hulking up, right, and going for the leg drop.
Can't do the leg drop.
Chairs.
They did away with chairs a couple of years ago.
Cool. And there's a tournament actually coming up pretty soon. It's the Onslow County Cup, and where is that being hosted?
That'll be hosted by Northside.
How many teams do you have that are going to be attending?
All 8 teams in the county, from 1A Lejeune to 3A of Jacksonville, White Oak, and Swansboro. It's been pretty hotly contested in the last number of years. Swansboro is a defending champion. They are probably the team to beat this year. They have a pretty solid program. Some second-generation wrestlers in that program. So they'll be the target.
Any of the wrestlers from your previous years that you're aware of, did they earn college scholarships?
Well, I guess the personal note, going back to my son, who was a White Oak graduate of 05, wrestling and academics helped pay for his degrees at Gardner-Webb. We've had a number of wrestlers that have gone on to college. Nathan Luna, who wrestled for us last year and took 4th in the state, is wrestling for the University of Pembroke right now. And Mr. Barbosa is now playing football at Pembroke. He was a wrestler and football player.
Do you have any wrestlers right now that currently play football?
Yes. Naeem Kelly, who was one of our freshman state qualifiers last year, and qualifying as a freshman, it's a pretty big deal. And then we have a handful of others that are out there that have talked about coming out. We're hoping to look for some more heavyweights.
Talk to us about some of the feeder systems maybe that can help the students before they get to high school wrestling. Is there any junior programs that they can join, or is there any other live action they can get before they get to high school?
Yes, sir, there is. I'm glad to say that every middle school in Onslow County, now including Brewster on base, have a middle school program. In fact, they're in session right now. Our feeder program directly is Jacksonville Commons. We'll usually go out for 1 or 2 of their matches to kind of support those guys, let them see the varsity guys and kind of form those bonds already. 3 or 4 of those guys we went to watch last year are trying out for our team this year. There's also the Onslow County Wrestling Club. It was started about 16 years ago by Doug Deemer as the Jacksonville Wrestling Club. We took it over and made it the Onslow Wrestling Club, and that's open to all youth from age 5 on through adult.
how important is it for the young students, the young wrestlers, to get some action before they get to that level?
Well, it gives them a good foundation. We cover some of the basics. I mean, for the 5 to 8 year olds, we do about a 45-minute practice session with just some simple basics. Throw some games out there to make it fun. And something we started a number of years ago was we bring our varsity wrestlers out to actually help coach the young guys. Some 5-year-olds see a 300-pound coach, they want to run for the hills. But if we bring our 119-pounder, for example, or now our 120-pounder come out, they're more adept, more apt to listen to them. And it also helps the high school students learn a bit, maybe a little community service, a little civic action, and working with the youngsters.
How do the weight classes run for high school wrestling?
We start at 106 as our lightest weight, about a 5 to 7 pound jump on up to 285 as our heavyweight.
And talk to us about what one of your normal practices would be like that you're running right now.
That's all strictly classified. We can't discuss that. No, seriously.
Well, I wish you could see my face.
Right. Everybody's got their own thing. We start with some basic conditioning, some of the drills that many of us coaches hated when we were wrestlers, but we know that it builds that muscle memory. Just like any other sport, you want to get repetition built in, and then we'll go on to do basic technique. We'll do a little bit of live wrestling. Something that my coaches did for us years ago was if you had a great practice, you got to do more live. The kids want to do the live. They don't want the structure as much. They want to have some fun. So if we've had a good, successful practice, we'll give a little more of that out there.
And you said that the program is still building at in Northside, as probably it is in all of Onslow County. What are some things you have maybe coming up this year that will help boost the popularity of wrestling? And what are some of the things some of the parents maybe can do to help boost the popularity as well?
Well, one of the areas is fundraising. We've had parents help a lot. We had some of our youngsters help during JV football games, run concessions. We've done car washes. We had a parent got with some realtors last year and donated for some of our costs. As you know, athletics can be expensive, but we give the kids some skin in the game, have them go out and work and earn towards their events or possibly their uniforms. It gets them involved.
Sure. Do you have any fundraisers or anything coming up in the immediate future?
All of our home events will be running concession stands. We'll sell T-shirts, and when we host the Onslow County Cup and our conference at the end, we'll use as fundraising opportunities.
Kind of talk to us a little bit more about the Onslow County Cup. Some of the proceeds from that maybe go towards the wrestling program.
Yes. Each of the teams in the county will get a portion of the proceeds from that once awards and things are put out. We also, something that was started back in '05 at White Oak, and it's become the battle for the hoodie. The host team gives a hoodie out for each of the 14 weight classes with Onslow County Cup champion on the back with their weight class, and it's in that school color. Some kids strive to get as many hoodies as they can in their career. To my knowledge, the most we've had is a 3-time winner throughout the county.
So, being Northside is 2A right now.
Yes.
And next year they're moving up to 3A.
Yes, sir.
So you will be moving up into Swansboro's conference next year. And you talked about Swansboro and how they are the team to beat. So talk to us a little bit about how motivated your wrestlers are to be able to wrestle in the same conference as the team to beat.
Well, there's certainly some inter-conference or inter-county rivalry. Like I said, Swansboro is a very solid team. To take nothing away from Jacksonville, I mean, he had a 2-time state finalist the last 2 years. He comes back. They have a very solid program. I believe also that Richlands will jump back down to 2A as we jump to 3A. We also pick up Havelock, which is a very formidable foe. They're very, very solid. West Craven, West Carteret. Some of our youngsters will get a taste of, I guess, the bigger leagues.
Sure. When it comes to the state championships, do you have team championships and individual state championships?
Yes, there is both. On the first weekend in February, I believe it's February 5th this year, there is a dual team championships.
And those are all run at the same time?
Yes, all four, the 1A, 2A, 3A, and 4A will run that Saturday. Getting up to that, there is basically a loser leave town type match. The first Tuesday in February will be the playoff round, and then they'll get in the regional playoff round that Thursday, and then the regional champions will go on.
Northside's high school program, and indeed programs across the nation, are co-ed. That's unique amongst high school athletics. Can you talk to us a little bit about that?
Yes, it does create some challenges. some parents don't want their daughter to wrestle or don't want them wrestling with, hand in hand with boys. I can say, having a daughter who wrestled in middle school here at Newbridge Middle School, once the action starts, the participants forget it's a guy or a girl, that they're just there to do their best. We've had some girls really surprise some people. They figured, oh, this is just they may have thought this was just a female, and then they come back on the losing end going, well, let me pay a little more attention that time. But there are some challenges, making sure that they're separated, making sure young teenagers who may make observations stay focused and on track and working as a team.
Coach, will you talk with us one last time if parents or local or folks in the community are interested in participating in fundraising for the program? Who do they contact? Where do they go? What does that process look like?
Okay, well, they can contact our athletic director, who is Brendan Kennedy, at the high school, or myself at 910-459-0947, or also the Onslow County Wrestling Club Facebook page.